Hariom, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's pray together, seek blessings, and move ahead. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma amrutam gamaya Sahana vavatu Sahanam bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvina vadhitamastu ma Om Shanti 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 Hariom Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, the omniscient, omnipotent, and the omnipresent, to such a magnificent Lord, who also has the divine name Ijjaha, we offer our humble salutations with Shraddha, Bhakti, and utmost prapathi. To seek His grace, His love, His affection, His benevolence, His kindness, His mercy, His forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapathi, Mumukshutvam. Only and only to have the first-hand experience of Thy true self, Thy true nature, in our very own hearts, in this life alone. This divine experience for the rarest few can happen only if you show up, if your grace is on us. We are ready to do whatever it takes to reach thy holy feet and have this Aparoksha Anubhuthi. Our salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, by the grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 413 on the 11th of February 2025. क्रोधी नाम संवत्सर उत्तरायण शिशिर ऋतु माघमास शुक्ल पक्ष भौमवासरे चतुर्दश्या तिथौ पुष्यमि नक्षत्र आयुष्मान योगे वनिजकरणे. And very popularly today is Thai Pappusam, which is a festival widely celebrated in South India, where Lord Kartikeya Muruga, he kills the demons. Okay. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all take a firm resolve once again, reiterating our commitment to the spiritual path. Na ham karta, hari karta, hari preranaya, hari prityartam. O Lord, it is Thy and Thy alone who pervades the entire universe. Ekam Advitiya Brahma. There is nothing else apart from you. Knowing this very well, I can only understand that it is you and you alone as this Jiva. And you alone has given ignorance to this Jiva and has made this Jiva go on the cycle of births and deaths. Now you yourself is giving knowledge to this Jiva and making it one with the ultimate truth, the ultimate reality. I am a sure witness to the entire life which this Jiva is leading, and I continue to seek your grace till I reach and become one with thyself. Thereby, nothing should matter to me in this life, whatever it may be. Pain and pleasure at the level of the body, joy and sorrow at the level of the mind, honor and dishonor at the level of the intellect. I am a sure witness. Without getting engrossed in any of these, but just enjoying the play of your Leela. Salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. It feels so fortunate to embark upon, I would rather say it as the final stage of our spiritual life. Aparoksha Anubhuthi is such a text which talks of the bare facts and takes you step by step, till you reach the ultimate reality. Now, what you just need to do here is follow the steps. Understand, realize, and experience whatever is being told. Now, how do you understand? By listening. Make sure you have understood. Then you should get some kind of a realization. Yes, this what they are saying is the truth. And I don't doubt anything. So you have already crossed the second stage, which is manana, where you have got a conviction now. And then you come to the final stage, which is the nididhyasana, which is the stage of experience. After having understood, after having realized, then when you start experiencing, then everything else drops down. Now you know the truth. You know that, yes, I have woken up from the dream. Oh my, that whole dream was a sham. Although I might have shivered, I might have laughed, I might have cried, I might have literally perspired. I might be shaking on my bed with fear, anxiety, sorrow. Now, this is, no sooner you get up and you dismiss a dream, in the same way, when you come to the stage of experiencing this, what is told over here, that will be a stage where it is you're moving to the next level. 3 levels of reality. Pratibhasika is the lowest level, which is the dream. And now that we all have experienced a dream, we don't have to explain what a dream is and what is our experience post a dream, right? Just as you negate a dream, now you say, oh, now I'm awake. So this is real. This is the Vyavaharika Satya, the transactional reality. There is a second level of reality. And then you come to the third level, which is the Paramarthika. That is the ultimate reality, where you know that even this is not true. Just as a dream, it was in your mind, and your mind was supported by the consciousness. It was lit by the consciousness. Your mind does not operate on its own. It's just an instrument, like a bulb. Now, bulb will not shine on its own. It needs electricity. And what is that electricity in this metaphor over here? It is that consciousness. So in your mind, whatever thoughts you had in the waking dream, now all that concocted, mixed up, they all appeared in a dream, in a world which you created with your mind. And remember, you didn't have a body when you were dreaming. You had some other body. And you don't have your senses also. So this is the concept of the dream. Now from there you realize, and when you come to awaking, you understood that, oh, this was all in my mind. And when you get to the Paramarthika Satya, then you realize that there is another universal mind, the Hiranyagarbha. Now that Hiranyagarbha is now dreaming of various jivas in this entire creation. So your mind was supported by consciousness. Now consciousness is dreaming this. So why can't you believe this? When your mind can create a world and can live a life which is so real, full of color, full of brightness, full of emotion, full of anxiety, full of joy, sorrow, pain, pleasure, everything is happening in the dream. So in the same way, now this consciousness is dreaming this life. Now this is what we are going to understand here, but the only catch here is, to understand this you need a pure mind. So for that, what is the level of your sadhana? Now I can see the troubles which we can foresee. So that's the reason I'm telling you all why I said that this is the final stage of our journey. Because by the time Aparoksha Anubhuti apparently has 144 verses, and he literally, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, they say he was a boy of 16 years when he wrote this Aparoksha Anubhuti. This is what our teachers had said. So now when he has written this book, he has, from the start, he is going to take us, this is what you need. Like for example, you're going on a, let's say you're going on a trek or a tour, a vacation. Now you have contacted the travel agent and you say, this is my budget, these are the number of days I can devote, and yes, I like beaches, or I like mountains, or I like cities, or I like quiet places, forests, whatever is your choice. Accordingly, he has made a plan for you. And then to go as per your plan, he has decided an itinerary. And in that he tells you these are the requisites, isn't it? First of all is you need to have a passport and you need to have a visa. And then of course your flight tickets. And then of course you need some currency to spend money abroad. So likewise, these are the requisites. Now without the requisites, despite a fantastic plan has been made for you, can you reach your destination, or can you achieve all what you wanted to achieve? Think. No. So these requisites also will be explained in the first few verses. And there my advice to everybody would be, these requisites which have been discussed, you ensure that they become, like in a car you have a dashboard with various meters. Ensure that all these are like meters in front of you. And there is no doubt that we don't have this. There's no doubt. We all have this. I am pretty confident and sure, more than you rather. Otherwise, we would not be able to continue on this journey with this much of earnestness. What I can see as a problem is the adequate requirement. That only can come as a problem in this whole journey. So now, if you see that there is some inadequacy somewhere, that has to be boosted. So bear this in mind. Now make it, now this is, whatever time we may take about 3-4 months, meaning about 10 or 15 or even more, 20 classes. I don't know how it will go, because I'm not going to rush through over here. I'm going to go very slow and ensure that everything is understood to the core. So in this scenario, you have got enough time now to build up whatever is inadequate. Like for example, you have a meter dashboard in front of you. There is a fuel meter. There is a temperature meter. Now, let's say as far as the fuel is concerned, you have a quarter tank. Oh, then this needs to be corrected. So what do? Now, no sooner you start your journey, no problem. But no sooner you get a gas station, ensure that you've taken fuel over there. So we are going to do that. Anything, whatever I'll be discussing with you, there are 9 qualities which Bhagavan Shankaracharya will be advising us over here. Taking these qualities, we will be moving ahead, and your intense focus has to be, what is my status on all these qualities one by one? That study you yourself has to do. If you need any guidance, of course, you can always check with me. And then boost up. Whichever requires to be boosted, you boost it up. Then what happens is, your journey will be intact. You will not face any problem. And you yourself will make sure that you will reach the destination. So, a little background to what is the meaning of a text of this kind. Like as we say, Aparoksha Anubhuthi is a prakarana grantha, but more appropriately it is called as a Prakriya grantha also. Prakriya means a process. Now, before this, why these prakarana granthas are told to us? To understand the main texts. Now, what are the main texts? The main texts are the Upanishads. And where do the Upanishads come from? They come from the Vedas. So, the Vedas are the oldest spiritual religious texts which are available to humanity. And you can say they are at least 4,500-5,000 years old. Now, as they say, Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramanam. Literally, the word Vedanta means the end of the Vedas. Veda and Anta, end of the Vedas. But Anta, it may sound as the end, but it does not mean the physical end of those 4 broad Vedas what we have. It only means the final conclusion of the Vedas about spiritual life. Because in the Vedas you have got so many kandas. You have the Karma Kanda, you have the Upasana Kanda, then you have the Jnana Kanda. Karma, Upasana and Jnana. Now these are the various stages. Like you have the primary education, you have the secondary, higher secondary, then the graduation, post-graduation. In the same way, now these are the different stages. So Anta means this is only talking about you becoming one with the Supreme. So this is the highest conclusion which they are talking about over here. So, and these Upanishads are the fundamental basis of our Sanatana Dharma, for Hinduism. Now, broadly what you may talk about, 10 major Upanishads. Okay, this is one stream. And then you have the Bhagavad Gita, which is the second stream. And the third we have are the Brahma Sutras. Like the Upanishads are in aphorisms or in sutras, what we say, it is written on those lines, very profound. So these are the 3 major channels what we can talk about in terms of the Upanishads. And these 3 together are known as Prasthana Traya. Traya means 3, like the triple canon of Vedanta. Vedanta again means the end of the Veda, meaning that portion of the Vedas which take you to realization. And to understand these 3 Prasthana Traya, you may suddenly not be able to go to become a graduate. You will have to go through the initial stages. So you have several introductory texts which are known as Prakarana Grantha. Like we have studied, one is Tattva Bodha, then there is Atma Bodha, Vedanta Sara, and then one of the high level introductory text can be Viveka Chudamani, Drigdrishya Viveka, Paribhasa, So like several introductory texts which qualify us to understand Upanishads. Okay, so now this Prakarana grantha, which enables us to understand an Upanishad, here is also called as the Prakriya grantha, means the process introductory text. In what way? It not only gives us the knowledge, but it also tells us how to go about these facts, these truths which are being told. So here you can see that it will address something which we are not aware. We don't even question that. Like, who are we? Like, who am I really, if we have to ask? What are you asking? Is this a question you're asking? Who are you? Or who am I? You ask yourself, who am I? Then we immediately say, I'm so and so person. I'm a person of this gender, this complexion, and this height, this weight, and this age. All that we know. What is this you are asking? So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he addresses these core questions, because that is finally now what has happened is primarily there are three things over here. One is our body, second is our mind, and the third thing is our true self, which is the divine self. So this human personality is primarily composition of these three things, because without an Atma, that awareness within you, can you ever be a body and can you ever be a function as a mind? You're dead. So constantly these three things are together, trichotomous. So they are together. But what has happened here is out of ignorance, which the divine himself has done, where we only understand ourselves as the body and we understand as the mind. The other part, Atma, awareness, consciousness, Chetana Shakti, Chaitanya Shakti, all that is hidden. Avarana Shakti. Avarana means there is a veil over it. It is covered. So now, actually speaking, they say we are human, we think and we presume that we are all human beings. Now, current state, in search of a spiritual experience. Yes, I want to have that spiritual experience. But the truth is, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. This is the long and short of our whole life. So now, with this Aparoksha Anubhuthi, Aparoksha, now we have to understand the meaning of all these terms. What is Aparoksha? What is Anubhuti? Means experience. Now we'll understand what is Aparoksha also. Don't worry. So, as I mentioned to you, there will be a step-by-step help in terms of understanding. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he gives us almost 15 techniques for realizing that our true nature is that Paramatma, that existence, that consciousness, that bliss. And if you see, one by one, as you understand this 15-step program, you will literally be flabbergasted. How eloquently he has been explaining this 15. Meaning you actually don't need these 15 steps for realization. Even one can take you towards realization, but he has given you a wide choice, a buffet. Take whatever you like, one or more or all. But what should be your aim? That direct realization of that Paramatma, that divinity within. See, this is the beauty of this text. And I should also tell you one more aspect. Although it sounds very exciting, now like the journey begins, and then as I told you, there are techniques, and then there are so many things which are told. Then you start believing You start beginning to rather say, oh, I am understanding this now. Oh, I got it. And then immediately, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he just pulls the ground below you. Meaning, you felt that I had understood everything, and then he will say, this is all wrong. What you have understood so far, you've understood, right? But that is not the case. And then again, he will start over and over again. So these kind of twists and turns will be there. So you have to, I'm just cautioning you, but not to discourage you, but to tell you that this is the way this text is, and this is the way the journey is. It's not very simple. You may think that you're going, yes, I got it, I reached there, and then he'll say, this is not the final point. We have somewhere else to go. That way, because he shows you, now we have to reach there. And then you say, right, you gear up and you beef up, and then you finally reach there. And then you will say, no, this is not the point. There is one more point up there. So likewise, there will be several twists and turns in the entire journey. We will have to go by that. So there's a broad understanding. Finally, as I told you, understand, realize, and then experience. This is how we have to embark our journey now. And the very first verse is the invocation of the Lord with his blessings. Now we move forward. First, let's take the first verse. Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. So here, like as we talk of, Mangala Acharana. Mangala Acharana is seeking the divine blessing. Sri Hariom. Sri Hari, Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu. What you say? I bow down to you. Sri Hariom. Now what is the nature of this Lord? Paramanandam. You all would like to have the shloka on the screen? I'll just see your messages. If you see, there are two options. You can either see me, or if you want to see the shloka, I can put the shloka. Whatever you like, you please let me know quickly. No, yes meaning I didn't understand, Durga Garu. You wanted the way it is now, where you want to see me and go ahead, or you want to see the shloka? Okay. I need one more answer. No, both is not possible. Both is not possible. If that was the case, I would not have asked this question. Okay. Okay, the majority is you all want to see me. Okay. Oh my. This is going equals. Okay, what I'll do is one shloka I'll do this way, another shloka I'll do that way. Okay. Okay, fine. Now here, Sri Harim, Lord Vishnu, What is the nature of this Lord? Paramanandam, the next word. Anandam we know, bliss. Parama Anandam means the ultimate bliss. Now the very nature, the very quality of Lord Hari, Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu is bliss. Now, you ask anybody, what do they first want in life? They want happiness. And in fact, one of the writings on the wall is, why does one study Vedanta and what does Vedanta promise you? It promises you Atyantika Dukkha Nivrutti Paramananda Prapti. Atyantika means extreme Dukkha, Nivrutti, cessation, warding off. And Paramananda Prapti. Prapti means getting of what? Paramanandam. So this is one of the promises made by Vedanta. You want to overcome whatever sorrow you have, that should not affect me. Let it be there. You can't do anything about it. Because it is, our life is like a prarabdha karma which this life is experiencing, and prarabdha karma is like the arrow which has been shot from the bow. You cannot take it back. Okay. But it should not affect us. So Paramanandam is now that Lord. Now whom you love anybody. You love a person, you love an object, you love an animal. It gives you joy. The primary aspect of love means there is joy. And now imagine here, you are in love with the Paramatma. So what amount of joy you can experience? Because love naturally brings happiness. And here you are saying, O Lord Sri Hari, who is nothing but a bestower of Paramanandam. And then he moves forward. Upadeshtaram. Upadeshtaram means a preceptor, a teacher. Now, here Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he calls Bhagavan Sri Hari as his teacher. Now, if you actually see, several traditions, each one has got their own teacher. They have different teachers rather. Like Dvaita philosophy has Sri Madhvacharya as their guru, teacher. Advaita philosophy has Shankaracharya as their teacher. So likewise, there are several segments or sections of this particular cult. They have their own teachers. But if you see one thing which is very interesting, whoever the teacher may be, finally it is all these lineages, though they have different gurus, but they finally go back to that one Supreme Lord, Lord Narayana, Lord Shiva, whatever it could be, who are at that highest level. So he says, my immediate teacher may be anybody, but the ultimate teacher is that God and God alone, Sri Hari, Vishnu, Narayana. So from such a Lord, I am seeking the grace. And I understand, as they say, because of your grace, I am able to be on this path of spirituality. Ishvara Anugraha Deva Pumsan Advaita Vasana. Advaita Vasana means, now we have so many people, all our desires are basically because of our vasanas. Vasanas means what? Tendencies. Now some people have a tendency to watch movies. Some people have a tendency to travel. Some have a tendency to taste food in different places. Some people have a tendency for shopping. So likewise, these are tendencies. Now if you want Advaita Vasana, a tendency to study Advaita, it can happen only by Ishvara Anugraha. Other than that, it cannot happen. This is a fact. Like, we all know if we suffer in life, we say, I don't know in my previous Janma what I have done. I'm suffering. People who have that much of sense, they accept life as that way. And if they are experiencing joy, or if somebody else is experiencing a lot of good things in life, then say that person must have done really good karma in his previous life. See how he's getting so many good things in life. So for every aspect, joy or sorrow in our life, we eventually say it is our good and bad karma. But here, Lord Krishna, he himself, he tells Arjuna, before the beginning of the Gita, he says, Arjuna, for you the doors of moksha have literally opened. That is the grace you have got now. Because Arjuna doesn't know, he treats Krishna as his friend, his brother-in-law. So, he says, you are a punyatma. Punyatma meaning, you are filled with punya, good deeds, meritorious deeds. All that past punya, if it is at the highest level, they say, then you get this Advaita Vasana. You will come to an Advaita. That is what the Shastras say. It is not that somebody is making this up. So, Upadeshtaram. Here now the teacher is that Lord and Lord alone. Because he has given the Vedas. Of course, it is not that here there is some Pandit or there is some Guru or there is some Acharya or Professor teaching. No, it is that Lord and Lord alone. He in the incarnation of whoever it can be, he is giving. So in our mind it should be that I am getting this from that Sri Hari. That should be our approach whenever we are studying anything with respect to the Vedas. And who is my teacher? Lord Sri Hari is my teacher. Lord Krishna is my teacher. That's why it was always told to us whenever we were studying Bhagavad Gita. Our Acharya is to say, it is that Lord and Lord alone who is teaching you. Have him in mind and listen to the discourses. And what should be our aim? Not just listening. Our aim should be to listen, to understand, to realize the truth without any doubts, and then start experiencing it. Remember these steps. Okay. Now, Sri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaram. Next word comes Vyapakam. Who is this Sri Hari now? This Sri Hari who is Vyapakam. Vyapakam means all pervading. Where is he? Which place do you come from? You say, I come from so and so place in state of, say, Kerala. Which place in Kerala? So and so place. Acha, now where in that place? You'll say, in this particular locality. Where in that locality? In this particular street. Where in that street? This particular house number. So, see my detailing we have to do. But where is this Lord? Vyapakam. Everywhere, all pervading. Now, understand whatever we are saying here. Now, the actual portion starts. The first line is the prayer. How we have to foresee or how we have to place ourselves when we are understanding this text. And now Vyapakam meaning, now this particular word, how can something be all pervading? You may get this doubt. You say that anything not only in this on this planet Earth or in this solar system, but all everywhere in the universe, and not only in the universe, in the multiverses. But I don't see him anywhere like that. Now that is what we are going to learn over here. So, Vyapakam Karanam Sarvalokanam. Okay. You are saying he is present everywhere. He is present as the Karanam. Karanam means the cause. Now this particular universe, whatever you are seeing, right from a unicellular organism till up to a galaxy, there is a cause for that creation, and he is the cause, which is known as the Upadana Karana, means the primary cause. Just like for any gold ornament, be it from a small finger ring up to a massive necklace, it is gold is the reason for that particular ornament. So in the same way, now they say, now this particular entire universe, what you are seeing is the cause of this universe is that Sri Harim. Karanam Sarvalokanam. Now, Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. To such a Lord who has got this kind of a strength in him, who has got this kind of a capacity. If you want to do a flag hoisting on the Republic Day or on the Independence Day, maybe that 20 or 30 feet pole, if you want to put it in the ground, how much you have to dig inside, how much of support you have to give to that pole. Now imagine all, not only these planets, solar systems, galaxies, Andromedas, Milky Ways are all floating in the air. Can you imagine? What is his strength? Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Tam Namamyaham. To such a Lord, I bow down. I bow down with devotion. And here, normally when we go to a temple or in your puja room, let's say, we go to in front of the deity, immediately what comes to us is we bow down to the Lord. And the next level is you may come down on your knees, or you may do a Sashtanga Pranam. These are the various acts. Now, what do we call such acts? Yes, it is out of bhakti. My devotion to the Lord, whenever I see him, that bhakti, it sprouts in me and I immediately bow down. But now, here the commentators, they say, bowing down is not an act of bhakti, but it is an act of jnana. Namamyaham. One of the rishis in Uttarakhand, he was saying, he says, by doing that, with that knowledge, okay, I have bhakti. Fine, I understand that. Everybody understand that. But now when I bow down, my understanding should be that my existence becomes one with the existence of the Lord, to whom I am bowing down. My consciousness is surrendered unto the consciousness of the Lord, to whom I am bowing down. My little joy, whatever is there, it becomes one with the enormous bliss of the Lord, Paramanandam, to whom I am bowing down. And thereby I become that Satchidananda by the act of bowing down. That is what is the true meaning of Namamyaham. I bow down to thee, that Supreme Lord, I bow down. So in this way, now see our whole perception of a prayer, how you can intensify the quality of your prayer. Anything and everything for a human being is how he or she understands perspectives in life. Now, when I said our past karma, we are punyatma. We say no, we look at somebody, if he buys a big flat, or if he buys a big car or whatever, we say, what punyatma hai. Or if he gets a good son-in-law or a good daughter-in-law, we say, punyatma he got. Everything is going so well in his life. But that is not punyatma. Punyatma is getting the grace of the Lord is punyatma. Now, I'll tell you a metaphor which see how it you can relate to it. Normally when we see sadhaks, the more they're going intensively on their journey of spirituality, some or the other trouble will be coming to them. In terms of their health, or in terms of their finances, or in terms of their relationship, or acquisitions. All this will intensify. Now, what I understand, imagine there is a pregnant mother who is now about to deliver. And now, yes, delivery means labor pain has to start for her. Okay? But now that labor pain is not adequate. Now, what does the doctor do to you? Now, the doctor ensures that he increases the labor pain in you. Isn't it? What he does for that, he gives you kinds of medications, oxytocin, and the mother and the baby are closely there monitored. Then sometimes he goes for this amniotomy, which is artificial rupture of the membranes, basically breaking the amniotic sac, the water bag, what we call. Now this can help speed up contractions, and that labor progression happens only by that. Now, why does a doctor give you more pain? Because he wants the safe delivery to happen, wherein mother and child both are protected. Now his focus is on the mother and child. He'll give you the requisite amount of pain and ensure that the delivery happens same. So here in the same way, the Lord is giving you that amount of pain, to really giving you this to ensure that your delivery happens safe. Now he knows that yes, this mother is appropriate to deliver, but there is some lacuna here. She needs a little bit of support. And if you have good time, what will happen? Now you will again go back into the world. So that vairagya is like that pain. You will get vairagya when things are not the way it is supposed to be. Then look at people who don't even look at God. If at all they go to a temple, they only go to put in their application, I want this, I want that. But nowhere they have any inclination for the love of God, no. And see how prosperous they are. And we may say, what is this? I don't understand what this life is. You have seen a dhobi who picks up a cloth when he's at the dhobi ghat. He picks up a cloth and then one bang on the stone. So these jivas who are like going up without any morality, without any ethics, who are going up, meaning you feel, they are progressing so well in their life. No troubles, nothing, everything is going smooth, are like that cloth which is in the hands of the dhobi. Who is that Lord who is lifting them? Yes, enjoy. Yes, you have done good somewhere in the past. I'll give you all that. Just like He is giving you pain to deliver you out of the samsara, there is giving them to exhaust their papa, for their punya, by giving them happiness to the peak level. And then He puts them on the stone. So, never be disheartened when things go wrong. Know that Lord is He is monitoring everything for you in your life. And with that faith and submission, prapathi, the only thing you have to pray is, don't leave my hand. You hold my hand. You do whatever you want, but ensure that you don't leave my hand. This should be our approach in life. That's when you will feel that yes, I have gained something. Okay, now we come to the next verse. Aparokshanubhutirvai प्रोच्यते मोक्षसिद्धये सद्भिरेव प्रयत्नेन वीक्षणीया मुहुर्मुहुः. Okay. Aparokshanubhuti, that is the first word over here. Now, this is very important to understand. Aparokshanubhuti, this intimate experience of the divine, what they so call Vaihi Prochyate, it is indeed explained or expounded over here. Moksha Siddhaye, for what? For attainment of liberation. Sadbihi. Sadbihi means people who are qualified, who are eligible, and who are capable. So Sadbihi, it just says good people, but there is a lot to understand over here, which we'll understand. Eva means only people who are the so-called good, which are qualified, eligible people. Prayatnena. Prayatnena means diligently, carefully. Not everybody is getting a chance to listen to this. So you must have seen there are so many people who may even come over here, but after some time they fizzle out. So to be on this path, that needs the grace of the Lord. So carefully, Vikshaniya muhurmuhu. So what you have to do carefully? Vikshaniya muhurmuhu means you have to constantly be at this. It's not that, okay, weekend I'll study for some time and then I'll get out of it. Maybe for the rest of the days, no. This is my weekend plan. Just like you have hobbies, Whenever you get time for relaxation, you do that. No, muhurmuhu, again and again. How? Prayatnena vikshaniyaha. Carefully, this has to be looked into. See, now start preparing your dashboard now. What is that I'm giving importance to in my life? Don't worry, there will be other questions in your mind. I understand we are grahasthas, and luckily I am also a grahastha, not to worry. So from the grahastha standpoint, I'll tell you what is to be done, whatever Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling us over here. Doing that, our first and foremost priority should be that muhurmuhu, again and again, my single agenda and main goal in life is I need to understand this supreme reality, not only understand, not only realize, but I want to have the Aparoksha Anubhuthi, which means my experience, self-experience. That should be our one-point agenda in life. Okay, now we'll go for the first word. What is the meaning of this aparoksha? So that direct realization and the direct experience of that divine within. Or you can say for attaining that liberation or moksha. Anubhuti, we know, experience. Now to understand Aparoksha, there are three things. One is Pratyaksha, second is Paroksha, and the third one is Aparoksha. I'll just give you a background. Now what is Pratyaksha? Pratyaksha means sense perception. Aksha means eye. So here they are saying, as you have eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. Okay, these are the five sense organs through which you get perceptions and you understand the world, right? So Pratyaksha is where with my own eyes I see, with my own ears I hear, with my own tongue I taste, with my own skin I experience the touch, and with my own nose I was able to smell. So in this way, that knowledge which we gain through each of our sense organs. And now with the sense organs, what we have got, we also gain that experience, isn't it? Now experience, like say something is very hot and spicy. The moment you taste it with your tongue, you not only understand that it is hot and spicy, but you also experience it. Okay? There is an experience which is caused by a sense organ. Now this sense organ, it understands, sends a signal to the brain, and then the brain gives you an experience. Understand, behind the brain there is a consciousness. Okay, so having an experience in life with the help of sense organs is known as Pratyaksha Anubhava. This is clear? Pratyaksha Anubhava, which means I with my sense organs, I experience something in life, so that becomes a Pratyaksha Anubhava. Now the second one is what? Paroksha Anubhava. Paroksha Anubhava is where I get to experience something not with my own senses, but with the senses of others. Somebody has seen something, they come and tell you, you must see this movie, as we say, no? Oh, this movie was excellent, you must see this. Now I have not seen, so I don't have an experience. But getting this from Para Aksha, somebody else's eye, somebody else's tongue, it had a taste of an experience of a good meal at a particular restaurant, and then they come and tell you, you must go there and eat once. And they may also tell you the dishes. So now that is not your experience. When you go there and when you taste, then it becomes your Pratyaksha. When you go and watch the movie, then it becomes Pratyaksha. But till then it was Paroksha. Okay. Now for experience, through your senses, Pratyaksha. Somebody else's senses, Paroksha. Then what is this Aparoksha? Where we are now, this is the foundation of the entire text. Aparoksha Anubhuti means, Aparoksha Anubhuti, Anubhuti means experience. Pratyaksha experience, Paroksha experience. Now I want to know what is Aparoksha experience. Which means, for this experience, you don't need any senses, you don't need any mind, nor you need anybody else's senses. You will have that experience without these. Can you think of this? Like you're sitting in a room. Suddenly it's a night, dark Amavasya, and power went off. Suddenly somebody from the living room, they say, hey, can you tell me if that so-and-so book is there in your room? Now you'll say, I can't see anything over here. I'll tell you when the power comes. Because to see whether that book is there or not, and you to go there and pick up the book, you need light. But if they call out to you and they say, hey, are you there? What do you say now? No, no, wait, I don't know, I can't see myself. Yeah, actually you cannot see yourself. But when they say, are you there? Immediately you will say, yes, I am here. I'll come to you when we get the power back. Because to move out of the room, you need light. So how did you say that I am here? For that, did you use your eyes? Or did you touch yourself and say, see yourself, touch yourself? No, you did not use any of your senses. You did not use any aspect of your mind, but you spontaneously said, yes, I am there. Now, where you don't need any senses and where you don't need any mind, now that is where we call as Aparoksha. Now, to understand this divinity, this is what we have to first get that in our mind straight, that you don't need any mind, you don't need any senses. Oh, if I understand this well, then I will have that Aparoksha Anubhuti. It is up to a point. Now the final crux, the final catch will be, how do I then first drive away ignorance? For that I need to have my ears in place, my eyes in place, my mind in place, get all the knowledge, and as the knowledge comes in, then ignorance is driven away. But you are saying that you don't need the mind and the eyes. This experience of divinity can happen only when you are in a state of no mind, no senses. So far as of now, let's understand this Aparoksha Anubhuti. To have that divine experience, you don't need the senses, you don't need the mind. Now, how to reach that point is what this whole book is going to talk about. So now, if somebody says, do you exist? Now, you don't have to make any special understanding whether I exist or not. That is a constant feeling which we have within ourselves. So in this way, what we have to know is, yes, to understand divinity, I don't need anything. And how I go there, now that is the crux. Again, one of the yogis in the Himalayas, somebody comes and asks him, he asked that Swamiji, he says, Ishwar ke astitva mein akhatya praman dijiye. He says, give me that irrefutable proof of the existence of God. And that immediate answer of that yogi was, Tumhara hi astitva, your own existence. Now these are all in between, aphorisms which we are posting over here, because this is something which we need to understand. Tumhara hi astitva. Now here you are saying we are not the body, we are not the mind, but again that yogi says your own existence itself is, there is no greater proof than what the Lord is. So now you are going to have a roller coaster ride in terms of the journey, and that's what we need to keep an open mind. We have prayed to the Lord. Every class we are going to start with the first shloka. We are going to say that first shloka, pray and seek blessings of that Lord with respect to this text, because as I told you, this is our final journey and we move forward. Come, we'll take one more verse. Okay, we'll take one more verse. We have some time. स्ववर्णाश्रमधर्मेण तपसा हरितोषणात् साधनं prabhavet pumsam vairagyadi chatushtayam. Now the preliminary tests and all that, that starts now from here. So what it says here is, by constant performance of one's own duties, by performance of one's own austerities, by that constant devotion to Lord Hari, a person can gain the necessary 4 qualifications, which they call as sadhana chatushtaya. And he starts like, what are those qualifications? Like vairagya and so on. So now this sadhana chatushtaya, this becomes, as I told you, the preliminary qualifications which is required. Now this is where we need to start our journey. So with this, what happens is, now this not only enables us to be on this path, and you may immediately say, oh, am I going to have those qualifications in the right sense or not? Don't have that doubt at all. Our journey has been exemplary. Only ensure that you don't move away from here. Keep this, intensify your goal, and you are in. So what we need is this pratyaksha. Now we need to have that pratyaksha into aparoksha. Convert it into aparoksha. Now what is pratyaksha? Like, you can talk about pratyaksha is samsara. This sthula drushti. You are having the vision of the world constantly. What a common person is, constantly is into this world with the perceptions and gratifying those senses. Gratifying is ego. So anything when it comes to pratyaksha is that sthula drushti. And in some cases here, you know that you are a religious person, you are a wise person, a good person. Now you have also the paroksha, meaning somebody told you, your guru told you, or your panditji told you, or somebody told you, no, look, you must do so and so vrat, you must do so and so pilgrimage, and you must visit Devi temple or Hanumanji temple or Ganesh temple or Vishnu temple, Shiva temple. You must do so much of austerities. Now that is paroksha. From them you have understood and you have developed a faith. Now this drishti is known as sukshma drishti. Being a religious person, and with your mind you have had a belief, oh, with this something good is going to come to me in my life, isn't it? And then when you come with this knowledge of Vedanta, that aparoksha, now that is known as a tattva drishti. You have crossed both these now. You have crossed this sthula drishti, this sukshma drishti. And you say, now I want to only experience that reality. That is known as aparoksha drishti, the tattva drishti. So we have to move from, we have already moved from sthula to tattva. But somewhere we are stuck in that sukshma also in between. Somebody has told you, no, do this. You will see. Now, what are you doing again? Again, to gratify your worldly needs, you are doing all that. If that, whatever you are doing the pilgrimage, you are doing austerities, tapa, dhyana, vrata, if all that is doing only to gain the strength of the Lord in terms of your sadhana, then there cannot be anything beyond that. But if you are bringing in your worldly needs and doing it, you will be entangled between the sthula drishti and sukshma drishti. So we need to be careful that whatever we do has to be to reach that sattva drishti, tattva drishti. Okay. So now, in this verse 3. Here they talk about the sixfold qualifications. Now, Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Adi, Shat, Sampatti. These are the six qualities there. And then Mumukshutva. If a person has got these four, Sadhana Chatushtaya. Chatushtaya means four. If he has these four qualities in him, broadly you can see four, but the third one has got totally six, which means they are 9 together. So what are all these? And how I should be able to master this? These 9 qualities become your dashboard now. In front of you in the car, the dashboard, you have all these meters. Now we'll study more about these in detail. Let's not rush through it and start enhancing those qualities in us as we go on the journey of this Aparoksha Anubhuthi. But remember, what is most important is that truthfulness, that dharma. One should not get swayed away by shortcuts and following adharma. And here, don't ever think about your lineage, about your varna. No. Only and only thing, foundation for even before these 9 qualities. And these 9 qualities can develop only if you have that Satyam as your main dharma. You may be a Brahmin, you may be a Vaishya, you may be a Kshatriya, you may be a Shudra. Don't worry. That doesn't matter at all. But if you have the foundation of, I am leading an honest life, that's enough. In the Chandogya Upanishad, there is one story. A young boy of about 9 years old, he goes to his mother, Jabala, and he tells, Amma, I want to go and study Upanishads. For that I need to go to an ashram and be there and study the Upanishads. Now this Jabala, this lady says, okay my son, there can't be a greater endeavor for you in life. Please go ahead. And then this son asks his mother, Amma, can you tell me who is my father? Because the first thing when I go there, the guru will ask me, who is your mother, who is your father, what are they doing, what is your lineage? They will ask that because I got to know from my friends. Can you please tell me who is my father? The mother says, look my son, I served several masters at several places and I don't know who your father is. Now this son, he goes and he tells when he approaches sage Gautama. The Gautama Rishi asks him, who is your father? She says, this is what my mother told me. Now, sage Gautama, he appreciated that truthfulness which was glowing in the eyes of the child. So just to achieve something, we say so many things, we do so many things. And everybody knows for a fact that if they say this, they'll be kicked out. But he upheld that truth with all that conviction and reverence. He says, this is the truth, O my sage, O Rishi Muni, this is the truth. Now, how you take it and how you accept it and what you do is up to you. But I have told you the truth. And sage Gautama was extremely pleased to see that child. And he takes him as his disciple. Now see, where is this jati over here? His mother comes from a labor class. And see how she has brought this child onto this earth. Now, despite all this, because he was on the firm footing of truth, he says you are eligible. So as far as we in our lives are on this path, then nothing can shake us. So even before we go to these 9 qualities, have this as the foundation, truthfulness. And when that is there, everything else will fall in place. Otherwise, you may feel that, you are gaining so many things, but that will all fall down at one point of time. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namah. We'll take Aparoksha Anubhuti's sadhana dhyana. We'll take verse number 2 of Brahma Jnanavalli. Whatever little time we can, we'll do that. Come, we'll visit the Vishnu Sahasranama, 446, verse 48. Ijyaha. Yajna ijjo mahejyascha kratum satram satangatihi sarvadarshi vimuktatma sarvagno jnanamottamam. 446 Ijjaha. One who is fit to be invoked through yajnas. Lord Narayana is the only one who is being invoked in all yajnas. Even when the devotee particularly invokes any other deity, he being the infinite, all gods are expressions of his own glory, and therefore, irrespective of the deity invoked, all yajnas are worship of Lord Vishnu. In Hariom, we read a declaration which openly reveals this truth. It says, they who worship through holy sacrifices, the devas or the pitris, they worship indeed Lord Vishnu, who is the self through the self, meaning the Atma through the Paramatma. To such a Lord, we offer our humble salutations and seek His grace, mercy, blessings. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Okay, come, let's now do the dhyana, Brahma Jnanavalli Mala, verse number 2. All of you, please close your eyes. Sit in a relaxed position. Take a few deep breaths. Asangoham, asangoham, asangoham punah punaha Satchidanandarupoham Ahamevahamauyayaha. Allow this to sink deep in your mind. Asangoham. I am unattached. From the level of the body. Asangoham. I am unattached at the level of the mind. And asangoham. I am attached at the level of the external world. Attachments bind us to suffering. True liberation comes when we realize that we are not defined by relationships, possessions, or experiences. Punah punaha. Now this phrase again and again, it only suggests the need for constant reinforcement. The mind, due to habitual conditioning, always resists the truth. Repetition of this insight in meditation dissolves false identification. Satchitananda. Sat means existence, which means you were never born and your true self will never die. You are beyond birth and death. Chit. You are the witness of all experiences, unchanging amidst change. Ananda, bliss. Your natural state is joy, untouched by worldly sorrows. Ahameva aham. I alone am. There is no duality. Once you establish in this fact, the ego dissolves in the realization that there is only one and one ultimate, supreme reality. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hariom Tatsat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord. Seek His grace, mercy, blessings to ever keep us on this path undeterred. Extremely focused and without becoming a prey to the fancies of the world. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. I hope we are all set on a firm foot to make it to the ultimate reality. Hariom. I thank you all for being a part of this wonderful journey.